Hello, I'm Michael Beck, and welcome. If this is your first time joining me, and welcome back if you've been following along with me. And so, yeah, continuing these videos, trying something a little new. I've written myself a bit of just notes, bullets here, um, just to see about a little bit of a compromise between, you know, my scripted stuff and then these like what were have been completely unscripted videos. Just a little something to maybe keep in mind my main points and help to keep me on track. Just seemed like a thing to do. Been doing things a little bit differently, um, and just thinking a little bit more about that, and maybe kind of some of the pros and cons, like because yeah, I guess it's kind of everything's kind of coming full circle. Um, yeah, because I started out with a an early iteration of podcasting, and that was unscripted videos, and then transitioned to just doing scripted recordings, and now we're going, unscripted videos again. So um, here we are. But yeah, I think that really the value that I saw in doing the scripted recordings was yeah, like it was really good to feel like I had something that was like fully baked. I would have an idea and I would go into the script writing, and that I would let it cook. I would put it in the slow cooker. Put it in the crock pot, and that thing would cook. And then hopefully by the end of it, I had something that was um, something I was like, oh yeah, like I feel like I really refined this thing, and I feel like really good about putting it out into the world. Um, I think unfortunately sometimes I could overcook things. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily did. Like, I'm not trying to critique or think of any particular idea where it's like, oh, that was like fully cooked. But I think there was like the possibility, or just the possibility of like just like stalling out, like having an idea, and this really kind of getting in the weeds of the thing. That really just kind of hindered the creative process. But yeah, I mean, like depending on what I had going on and the particular idea, like it could take me, months from the inception of the idea to actually like putting out into the world. And so I think yeah, I had a number of like kind of pros and cons, and and so yeah, maybe it was like sometimes like what I offered out like wasn't as kind of genuine or as like conversational as it like could be. Um, and and then and then I think yeah, I mean really, in those instances where kind of like it would really take me a long time or I kind of get stalled out, like I think it really could kind of encourage and promote like the overthinking that I already do, and the kind of in like with along with that, then it's kind of like a question of like, well, how potentially like genuine or authentic, like was it what I was putting out if I was like overthinking it too much or trying too hard to um, really like uh think so much about like how I was trying to convey and say things, um and so kind of like over here maybe the good things is like it's potentially a fully refined idea, but on the other hand it can kind of be like maybe too thought out and just yeah not really not as yeah again like as genuine as authentic as it potentially could be. um and so yeah, but like thinking about like these unscripted videos that I've been doing, I guess yeah, the kind of the difference is that I'm putting out something ideas, the general idea of the video, and even the things that I say throughout the video because it's unscripted. Like there are things within that haven't been like fully considered. And yeah, for me, that's pretty scary. Again, because in the way that scripted things like appeals like to me like as an overthinker, and so I think that doing these things unscripted is like a good practice. But yeah, it's like, man, like um yeah, the idea of putting something out there that's like not fully cooked, something that's half baked, something that's um that I haven't fully considered, something that I haven't done a lot of overthinking, is scary when you spend so much of your life trying to overthink things and believing that that's going to be the way to, like, that's like the constructive thing to do, is like you overthink things, um, and you make sure that you like minimize and, well, as much as possible, like eliminate like risk. um, and so yeah, again, it's something, and it's a practice to try and take some risks, do things that haven't been fully considered, um, and I think, yeah, in the process, like potentially doing these unscripted things can be more, um, they're much closer to the inception of the idea. I feel like, maybe I've been thinking about something, throughout the week or even that morning, I've thought about it, and then I can go ahead and, create a video, and, so much time hasn't gone by, and it's not that same thing where, I've had an idea and then spent months working on it. And then by the time, I put it out, I've already thought of, hundreds of other ideas by then. So, so yeah, not trying to dog, my, my scripted recordings. I love them. And again, like it appeals, to my nature and maybe my trauma. But yeah, I am trying to embrace and try something new for the time being. And maybe here and there I will do something something scripted. But for now, yeah, doing these unscripted videos, it feels right. It feels like it's what I'm supposed to be doing. And and did I have any other thoughts on that? I guess not. Um, yeah, shoot. And this is why I have this, but again, without a script. um, things like this happen and will happen, and that's okay. Um, so I'm just gonna, if I think of it, I'll try to bring up later. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of continue on with what I do remember, and did make a note of here. Is that in a previous video, yeah, I talked about complacency and discipline and time management. And since I put that out, oh gosh, yeah, if I had just continued on, it would have come to me. I was thinking that, yeah, because these videos are, um, so scrappy, so off the cuff, so unconsidered. But yeah, when I do these videos that haven't been, um, fully considered, haven't been fully thought through, naturally I'm going to have like, um, ideas that will come up after the fact, and that I'll want to share. So that's where, yeah, I had a video that I put out, again talking about complacency and discipline and time management, and yeah, for the time that I put that out, like it feels like it was important and a good conversation to have. But thought, some additions to that is really, I think that for me, and what I was talking about, while it was good to think about those ideas, and I think I even did, though, kind of towards the end of that video, um, kind of touch on, um, thinking about sort of priorities, but I guess I want to take some time to kind of think further, and maybe, yeah, say that if I didn't, I can't remember. Um, but was, yeah, to just, yeah, just thinking of the saying, like, not putting the cart before the horse, is the, yeah, if you obviously you need to put the horse before the cart in order to have it go forward. Um, so the idea of first things, um, you know things happening in the correct order, and I think that's so easily, we can try to do things out of order and putting the cart before the horse, and not really going anywhere and wondering, well, why isn't this working? It's like, well, you're doing things like out of order. And yeah, just thinking if like ogres things are like onions, then there's like multiple layers, and there's going to be your outside layers, and I think that that's really our tendency is just to think about and like look at and try to change and address like the extremities, like the outermost like layer. And I think we really just like love to have like our band-aid solutions, and we don't really have a mind for the deep surgery, and actually kind of getting at whatever the core of the um of the issue and the trouble um is. And so I think that for me, just kind of like reflecting and being like, well, I had a moment, where I was thinking about complacency, which I think is really always like, I think, yeah, it can be a constructive thing to think about. Like, am I complacent? What does that mean? I think that could be a good first start. But yeah, I'm thinking about like discipline and time management. Um, like really, I think in order to kind of like nail those down, again, for me is it's like, well, in order to be like disciplined, like what am I being disciplined for? In order to like manage my time, like having to know like what are my priorities. And I think without having those things in mind, it does feel like doing things out of order, because it's like, yeah, how can I, um, yeah, how can I, be disciplined when I don't know like what, yeah, like what it like what am I being disciplined for? And yeah, I know I'm just repeating myself as I'm thinking about it, but yeah, like time management, like what am I trying to manage? Like what are my priorities? Like what are my goals? Um, and so, and yeah, I think it's hard because um, as much as we try, there's like only like we only know what we know, in the moment. And I think that it's good to try to get to the core as much as possible, but that really takes time. I mean, um, I imagine many of you, or at least some of you that are listening, um, have undiagnosed health issues, and or maybe questioning or wondering if there's. I know for me, some questioning or wondering if like um, just about mental health challenges, and just kind of like wondering about further clarity with that. And so I think, yeah, there's like this some level of like knowledge, understanding that there's like that there's just going to be like parts of ourself that can be unknown and uncertain, and like looking for clarity. And so it's like, what do you kind of do in the middle of in the midst of the journey that we're all continually on, and committing to the process and being in the moment, and recognizing that, yeah, like that we don't have the full clarity. We're not kind of at the core of the issue, many of us. And so, yeah, how do you um, kind of try to go, um, as deep as you can go, pulling back as, many layers as possible, but recognizing that, there's some layers, that you can't, get past some, walls that can feel like, that you can't quite get through. And so, yeah, I guess that's a lot of where I'm at now. Is I, again, the nature of unscripted is I'm really, yeah, in the moment. These thoughts are coming up, and I'm thinking about these things. That yeah, it's like wow, that's where I'm at right now. Presently is just trying to manage, and balance like what I know and what I can do with what I don't know. And so, I can't do with anything that I don't know. But yeah, I think that um, for my, discipline and time management is just continuing to, try to take things, daily one step at a time and trying to do things that will maybe promote you know finding like meaning and purpose, and in that way kind of combating complacency, which I think I talked about in the other video. But I guess in this moment, yeah, thinking about complacency is really just like a lack um, of of hope and meaning and purpose, and so I think part of that kind of is also, yeah, trying to um, again, yeah, balance like acceptance, self love, compassion, um, with where I'm at, but also having, a level of curiosity for, okay, well, how could I potentially, work towards, gaining some more clarity, with my physical health, with my like mental health, um, and yeah, so I have. I'm trying to think. Did I do a video about? Yeah, I think I did a video talking about therapy and talking about a bit of struggles in the process, and with my um, therapist that I had been seeing. And so I have now, I just sent them an email letting them know that I didn't believe that it was beneficial to continue working together. And so, yep, that's in now. And the day before yesterday, losing track of time now, I had an appointment with a new therapist. And I feel like that, it's hard when you first start, but I think it went as well as I guess it could have. And I'll have to see how it goes. But again, it's a process. But yeah, some hope for how that'll go, or at least taking a step and a start um, to be moving forward. Even if it's I need to see another therapist after this new one. Just moving forward, because yeah, it seems like things were stuck, and yeah, this was like not working out with the therapist that I was currently seeing, and so to continue to see them wouldn't have taken me anywhere. So yeah, my cat again at the door, but um, yeah, trying to wrap this up here. So yeah. Oh, and then yeah, beyond that, I don't think I would have said any of my videos yet, but I am trying to do what is referred to as case management. And so kind of like looking at, they would potentially have different resources in terms of, what kind of financial support, financial aid I could get, looking at housing, potentially looking at, job and skills building. So I think all that stuff that I'm interested in, um, and again, would be kind of trying to, yeah, like work forwards. And also, yeah, I think that for a while there, I put a lot of eggs in one basket. I was trying to have therapy kind of do all the things, and that just put a lot of pressure on me. Um, you know, putting, feeling like I need to put pressure on the therapy to kind of be doing all these things that potentially, um, yeah, it's great if, that therapy maybe can try to, fill in for an absence, but trying to fill that kind of, yeah, with something else so that I can try to really focus on like letting therapy being about, um, yeah, how do I, yeah, I mean, I guess that's a whole other kind of thought and something that I'm thinking about, like what is kind of therapy maybe best for, and really kind of trying to focus on that. But I guess that is my hope, and what I'm trying to do is uh, to do that, and starting by having something else, that can really, yeah, be feeling kind of those sorts of things. Um, and then, yeah, I've been out of the kind of the health game for a bit here, so it'll be something to try and see about maybe seeing a specialist or something. Um, but yeah, things are very traditional, not traditional, transitional, and up in the air, and trying to, yeah, wade through the uncertainty of just expectations and timelines, and so we'll see what happens. But again, yeah, trying to um, be curious and mindful, and taking things one step, one day at a time, being like a baby, just being okay with crawling a little bit, trying to work towards, actually getting towards baby steps, um, and then, from there maybe doing some, uh, yeah, doing some real good walking, but yeah, really trying um, not to be a runner or a sprinter. I think that goes into. I just started reading the ruthless elimination of hurry, the ruthless elimination of hurry, um, and yeah, you're probably hearing my cat. What is this deal? Um, but yeah, like really trying to find, to pace myself, and to um, just do things in the right timing, and not trying to force things, and not trying to have to know what I don't know, um, and yeah, again, just trying to, fully embrace and accept myself, you know, um, and just being, I guess, even, not trying to judge myself even for judging myself, just being like, this is the love that I have to give to myself, and if it's, more love, grace, and compassion than I had in the past, then that's some kind of progress, and that's something to celebrate, and be proud of. So I think that's all I've got for this one. I think this is maybe a little bit longer than usual. Got a bit distracted with my cat. I don't know if you hear that him crying or not. Um, if not, you'll just have to trust me. He has been doing that and really distracting me. But I feel like, yeah, I managed to stay on task a little bit well enough. Again, with the help of an aide. So I think, yeah, I'll probably do that again. And that's, yeah, I'm going to leave this here for now. That's all I've got. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me to consider these thoughts with me. And until next time, please stay well and take care.